Frank, it's Nick Zabel.
Hello, Nick.
I'm sorry if I woke you, but I've been taxiing up and down the halls, waiting for a chance to see you alone. I saw your nurse go out.
I haven't sprung you yet, eh, Nick?
Yeah, I'm so popular around here, they don't want to let me go home. I hear it's the same with you.
Yeah, looks like I'll be spending a while here myself.
Yeah. Frank, I'm glad to see you doing so well. I was worried about you.
They told me that I came pretty close to giving you some business down at your funeral home.
That business, I'm very happy I didn't get. Look, Frank, I've been waiting for a chance to see you alone, but what with the doctors, nurses, and family coming in and out, I just didn't have the chance.
Yeah, I've had a lot of company.
Well, since your accident, most of my company's been policemen and newspapermen.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's why I've been anxious to talk to you, Frank. Your friend Bob Reed was asking a lot of questions about the day you came to see me, the day of your accident. And that newspaper guy, Finelli's been nosing around, too. Well, I felt I had to tell you what I told them.
Okay.
All right, naturally, I didn't want to suggest that you knew Roger Coleridge owed me money or that you wanted me to cut off his credit. Now, I mean, I really don't know. I'm a solid businessman. I run my funeral parlor. I mind my own business. I don't understand why the people in the community want to associate me with the gambling interests or whatever they think I'm connected with.
People are always ready to think the worst, eh, Nick?
Yeah. Yeah, well, at any rate, I thought it would be better for both of us, not to mention that you were involved with Roger. So I told Finelli and Reed that I called you over to the hospital to make your campaign contribution.
They must have wondered why you'd want to see me elected, huh?
Yeah, they did, but I explained that I'd been an admirer of yours for a long while and that I was a very good friend of your father's. Both true.
Tell me, Nick, did I accept the campaign contribution?
No. Much to my disappointment, you turned it down.
Hell, that was the best move I made all day.
Look, Frank, you understand why I felt I had to tell him what I did.
Yeah, I understand.
Listen, if you should change your mind about the campaign contribution, the offer's still good.
No, I think I made the right decision the first time.
Now, listen, Frank, if anybody asks about that meeting, I assume you'll remember it the same way I did. Now, look, Frank, it's to nobody's advantage to change the story now, is it?
Well, I guess you're right. I got reasons of my own for accepting your version.
Yeah. Oh, hello, Mary.
A mother and daughter take matters into their own hands. Will she pay the price?
Either let me go or arrest me.
Or will her daughter finish the job to avenge her husband's death?
I want you in hell where you belong.
Watch All My Children, weekdays on ABC and weeknights at 8 on SoapNet. She did everything to get him back.
I don't want anything to hurt you.
But there's one night she can't erase.
Don needs to know the truth about the baby.
I'm gonna make you pay.
Now,
Stay out of my life.
how will Natalie protect John from the truth?
What is this?
Watch One Life to Live, weekdays on ABC and weeknights at 9 on SoapNet.
You know how it is. You look in the mirror one day and you go, how am I going to lose this weight? eDiet's meal delivery from ediets.com. It's the easiest, smartest, most delicious way to eat great and finally lose the weight. I know you're thinking, eat great and lose weight? Really? Really.
You'll love the food. There's no MSG, no fake sugars.
The food tastes fantastic. It's awesome. Very delicious.
It tastes wonderful.
Call now or go to ediets.com. Choose from over 100 fresh prepared meals, not dehydrated diet food, but really delicious food. eDiets will deliver your favorite meals and snacks in a chill fresh container.
All you have to do is relax, enjoy, and eat great, all the way to slim.
I lost 115 pounds.
65 pounds.
25 pounds.
94 pounds.
Along the way, ediets.com gives you real support.
Terrific online tools, access to registered dietitians and trainers, and friends who care about your success.
They're there with you to hold your hand, and they really care.
Truthfully, I like everything about eDiets.
I've lost 30 pounds. All of a sudden, I find myself a changed person.
Hey, I made it to 50 pounds, and look at me now, I'm 60 pounds.
Millions of people have turned ediets.com to lose the weight. Now it's your turn.
Call or go to ediets.com and sign up for 7 full days of meals, 3 meals per day, fresh prepared just for you, plus snacks. So don't wait. Join eDiets. Eat great food and lose weight fast.
I believe that eDiets can change people's lives.
My husband will often say, "You're the hot wife." That's just boosted my confidence a lot.
eDiets has changed my life forever.
Call to find out how you can get 1 week of meals absolutely free. That's right. 1 week of fresh prepared food, 1 week of weight loss, 1 week of success, free.
Free? What are you waiting for? Call or go online to get started now.
Call 1-800-279-1604 or visit ediets.com now.
Come in.
Good morning, Ed.
No, good morning. Well, how are you today?
A little tired, I'm afraid.
Well, come in, sit down.
Thank you.
There you go. Was it a bad night?
I was too angry to sleep. Ed, I'm so sorry about last night.
Oh, that's an apology. You really don't owe me one. I'm sorry I put you in a difficult position.
Well, it would have been much more difficult if you hadn't been so gracious and tactful with Seneca when he barged in.
Well, I tried to see it from his point of view. It must have been a shock to walk in and find his wife in the arms of another man and a picnic supper on the floor of an empty apartment, no matter how innocent the situation really was.
That was still no excuse for him behaving the way he did. He knows that as far as I'm concerned, our marriage is over.
Well, he doesn't think it's over.
Well, then he'd better readjust his thinking.
No, I couldn't help wondering what happened after I left last night. I mean, from my own point of view, my worst fantasies were that a grand reconciliation had taken place.
It didn't.
You mean he might go back to Minnesota?
No, he claims he's come to New York to stay, and he'll continue his research at Riverside. I'm really surprised at Marshall. Now, how could he offer Seneca a position without consulting you?
Oh, no, he's completely within his rights. We talked about it this morning. No, there's no question. It'd be a major contribution to the staff if Seneca Bullock joins him.
Well, I'm still very put out with Marshall for not warning me. If he had, I could have saved Seneca a great deal of trouble, and myself, too.
No, I'm really confused. I mean, it seems to me there was a time when you were willing to continue your marriage if you came east with Seneca. If he came east with you.
That was before I made the break. It's too late for that now. Seneca can't just come barging in and say, "Here I am, I've complied with all your terms, you have to take me back." I'm sorry, I don't want him back. I like my life the way it is. I'm my own person now. I'm enjoying the freedom of making my own decisions, doing my own work, and developing new relationships. It's just like Seneca to turn up all of a sudden and expect me to rearrange my life to suit him. Well, I'm just not going to do it. He couldn't provide me with the framework I needed for my life, so I found it on my own, and I intend to keep it. Well, not quite on my own. You helped considerably.
Well, I'm very pleased to hear it, but somehow I'd rather have you take all the credit when you tell Seneca about it.
I will, I promise.
No, I can't tell you how glad I am You didn't come in here to tell me you're going back to him.
So I thought maybe you could start filling me in on some of the people I'm going to be working with.
Sure, be glad to.
Dr. Coleridge, for instance. Do you know him well?
We've been friends for years.
I take it he's a good man if he's going to be appointed head of neurology.
He's a fine doctor and a fine man.
Tell me, Marshal, what was his reaction to your hiring me?
He was delighted. I only mentioned it to him for the first time this morning, since you asked me not to tell anyone until it was all set.
And Nell reports to him, doesn't she?
Yes, he hired her.
Mm-hmm. Do they seem to get along all right?
Lately, they do.
When I was here before, I met another Dr. Coleridge in Nell's office.
Roger, he's Ed's son.
Then Ed Coleridge is married?
His wife died a number of years ago.
Oh, it's too bad.
All right, Seneca. What's really on your mind?
What do you mean?
Well, it's no secret around the hospital that Ed and Nell have been seeing each other on more than a professional basis. Though I have no reason to think it's anything more than a close friendship. Now, is that going to be a problem for you?
Why would it?
I don't know. But you and Ed have to work together. And if that's going to give you trouble, I think you ought to find out about it right away.
Well, now, Marshal, how would you suggest I go about doing that?
Well, if I were you, I think I'd go talk to him. About Nell, and also about his reaction to your joining the staff.
Mm-hmm. Marshal, that's a terrific idea. Where do I find him?
The 6th floor, off the elevator to the right.
Right, thanks.
Hello, Frank.
It's good to see you, Mary. You're looking very lovely, as usual.
Thank you.
I bet you're very happy to see Frank's improvement.
Yes, it's wonderful.
Yeah, I hope it keeps up.
I'm sure it will.
Frank's very lucky to have his family around.
Is Serena still in Europe?
Yeah, and then when she gets home, the next day she has to go to college. I'll be lucky if she can spend an hour with me.
Too bad you don't get to see her more often.
Yeah, it is. You know, the only thing I have to show for having a daughter this summer is a couple of picture postcards.
Nick, what are you doing in here?
Well, just wishing Frank well.
Well, you can just wheel right on out, because Frank's still a sick man. You got no business in here. You're supposed to be in bed yourself. Now, who did you bribe to put you in that wheelchair,
The mayor. Now, come on. I'm allowed some time up.
Time. Just up. Mary, I'm putting you on guard duty until the nurse comes back. No visitors, except the family.
I'll see you, Frank.
Right, Clem. What was Nick Szabo doing in here?
He was worried about some of the questions the police were asking him.
What sort of questions?
About why I dropped in to see him the day of the accident.
I was wondering about that myself.
What were you wondering?
Why you went?
He asked me to come by.
That's what I heard, but I was still sort of surprised.
It was a courtesy call, Mayor. He and Dad have known each other for quite a while, you know.
Well, I know. He helped Dad by guaranteeing that loan, but if half of what people say is true about Nick Szabo, there are lots of reasons why he'd be interested in knowing a city councilman. I just don't think you should have met with him in the middle of a campaign.
Well, I didn't think I could ignore him, Mary.
Nick told Bob that he offered you a campaign contribution?
Yeah, that's right.
Frank, you didn't accept it, did you?
No, of course not.
Oh, I was sure you hadn't.
And what do you look so worried for, still?
Well, Jack Finelli came uptown the day of your accident, and he wanted to write a story about you and the campaign.
No kidding.
Which he's still interested in doing. But he's got a lot of questions about Nick and about the $6,500 they found on you when they took you into the emergency room.
I see. Finale thinks there's some kind of connection there, huh?
I told him it was your money, but he doesn't believe it. Oh, Frank, we gotta get this thing straightened out.
Well, it's easy enough to prove where that money came from.
Is it?
Yeah, when I left the force, I was entitled to nearly $10,000 from the pension fund. I put $3,000 of it in my account. And I opened a special savings account with the rest. And I didn't tell Dee about it. If she had been able to get her hands on it, Mary, she would have figured out a way to spend it, right?
I know.
Well, so Finelli can look at the bank book. He'll see that I withdrew $6,500 the day of the accident. If he wants to check the bank book, he can, if he wants to check where the rest of the money is, the original source of it, he can check with the police department, and they'll verify the amount of pension money that I took with me when I left the force.
Oh, Frank, that's great. That clears up everything.
Now, Mary, would you mind getting me a glass of water, please?
Oh, of course. Oh, I knew you'd be able to explain everything. Now, if we could just find out what happened to that money.
You mean Bob hasn't got a line on it yet?
Not a thing. Simply seems to have vanished from the emergency room. Oh, Frank, if we could just find out what happened to it, we could forget the whole thing and carry on with the campaign.
Mary.
What?
Don't you think we better be realistic about it?
About what?
It's going to be a long time, if ever, before I can even run for a bus, let alone a political office.
Oh, no, honey, that's not true. You can manage the campaign from here if you have to.
Listen, I can think of a lot of reasons why I can't.
That's because you're tired and you need to get your strength back. We're not going to push it now. But as soon as you feel a little better, we got to get right down to business.
As one couple gets closer, another couple fights for their lives. This week,
Tonight?
It's never looking back.
Sonny and Brenda get red hot, and
You're in danger.
This guy is seriously disturbed.
Turn around.
Is This the Balkan? Watch General Hospital, weekdays on ABC and weeknights at 10 on SoapNet.
Cats like boxes. Big ones. Little ones. And ones with Fresh Step litter inside. That's because Fresh Step scoopable litter with carbon is better at eliminating odors than Arm & Hammer Super Scoop. Fresh Step. Cats know what they like.
Can we turn the AC up? I'm dying back here.
Jeff, eat a Snickers, please.
Why?
Every time you get hungry, you turn into a diva.
A diva?
Yes, a diva.
Okay.
Thank you. Better?
You're not you when you're hungry.
Better.
Snickers satisfies.
We invited top stylists to test our Professional's hair care line.
I love natural ingredients.
I'm jealous. But it's not a salon brand.
It's Suave Professionals.
Suave Professionals with natural almond and shea butter is salon proven to moisturize as well as Aveda Dry Remedy.
People are talking about General Hospital's Jason Morgan. Nicole Lachelle Alvarez posted on Facebook, "I love Jason." Candace Prophet says, "How I love you. Let me count the ways." Linda Lair Cox says, "Hot, hot, hot. Who doesn't love bad boys?" And Melissa Russell Gray adds, "My absolute favorite character ever. What a sexy man." People are talking about General Hospital. Weekdays on ABC and weeknights at 10 on SoapNet.
I happen to like your nephew very much, in spite of his occasional mishaps. Bucky's about the most earnest young man I think I've ever met.
I know, I adore him.
Did I ever tell you about the first day he came here?
No, I'd love to hear it.
Well, it was right after the first intern orientation meeting, and he asked me if he could speak to me for a few minutes. So we came in here and sat down, And he crossed one leg over the other. And then I happened to notice he had on the most dilapidated sneakers I think I've ever seen. I mean, there were holes in one of them, and the laces were all knotted. But then he proceeded to ask me, and if I would please be confidential about his family connection, because he didn't want anyone to know that there was money in his background.
Don't I know? Bucky is continually worried that someone is going to like him for his money instead of for himself.
So, of course, I promised that I wouldn't say anything about it, and I haven't. But I couldn't help being amused when I thought of what old Henry Carter, who made his millions selling shoes, would think if he saw his grandson's sneakers.
Well, Henry was a very practical man. I'm sure he would have approved.
Come in.
Didn't expect to find you here. You have a few minutes, Dr. Kovich?
Yes, I have, later on. I'm in consultation with Dr. Bullock right now.
You seem to spend quite a bit of time in consultation with Dr. Bullock.
But yes, we're involved in very many of the same cases.
Yeah, well, I'd like to hear more about that involvement, since the lady happens to be my wife.
Seneca, please don't start that this morning.
Oh, what's wrong with my being curious about my wife's work?
It's not your work. My work you're interested in.
Uh-huh. Well, I've reorganized my entire life in order to give you an opportunity to do that work.
Well, I'm sure there's time enough to rectify that mistake.
Oh. Dr. Coleridge would be delighted if I went back to Minnesota, right?
Seneca, you are being impossible.
What is it you wanted to speak to me about, Dr. Bullock?
A few things. I'd like to hear about the projects you're involved in. I'd like to find out about the organization of the department in general.
No, I think that's slightly premature, isn't it?
Oh, how so?
No, it's my understanding that it'll be a few days before you're officially on the staff.
Well, I happen to have some free time now. I'd like to make use of it.
No, I'd prefer to discuss departmental business after you're officially a member of the staff.
Marshal Westheimer suggested I talk to you now.
No, I'm sorry. I was off on my way to X-ray. Nell, you have a few X-rays you'd like me to look at, don't you?
Yes, please.
Let's go. Well, I'll explain my position to Marshal, Dr. Bullock, and I'll see you when you join the staff.
Oh, you'll be hearing from me sooner than that.
Next, take a trip to the Upper West Side on Ryan's Hope. Later, spend some time in Genoa City with the Young and the Restless. Only on SoapNet.
She did everything to get him back.
I don't want anything to hurt you.
But there's one night she can't erase.
Don needs to know the truth about the baby. I'm gonna make you pay.
Now,
Stay out of my life.
how will Natalie protect John from the truth?
What is this?
Watch One Life to Live, weekdays on ABC and weeknights at 9 on SoapNet.
That's gonna go right in your glove. Oh, see that? Great job. Okay, now let's get ready for the ball. Here it comes. Here you go.
Good catch! Perfect!
All right, now for the best part. Let's see your pour. Ooh, let's get those in the bowl. These are way too good to waste, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go for it. Around the bowl. And
share what you love with who you love. Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
They're great!
Good catch, Dad.
Other handheld vacuums rely on traditional motors, whereas a Dyson handheld is powered by the Dyson digital motor. It uses neodymium magnets to spin up to 5 times faster than a Formula One engine. It's why Dyson handhelds can deliver twice the suction power of others.
There are some things you can't control.
The weather.
The front page. The stock market, obviously. We're hearing the one thing no one wants to hear.
Cancer.
Okay, things you can control.
What you know before treatment.
There's a high risk of infection during chemotherapy.
So don't let anything interrupt your fight against cancer.
Talk to your doctors.
And go to manageyourtreatment.com.
There are some things you can't control.
But this, you honestly can.
A deadly virus.
There are outbreaks all over the country.
An experimental drug.
It worked in the lab.
A mother desperate for a cure.
I need to inject myself now.
Will she sacrifice herself to save her daughter? Watch Days of Our Lives, weeknights at 6 and 11 on SoapNet.
It's time, Erica. Choose a door.
Choices. They are life's constant. Anything is possible, right? The choice to be brave.
I have breast cancer. Mom,
the choice to turn back. I feel like I'm way out of my league. But when life doesn't turn out the way you hoped,
something awful is going to happen here.
Am I dead? You wonder, did you ever really have a choice? Am I married?
No one gets to see their future. That's not how this works.
The shocking new season begins.
I need to know.
Being Erica premieres Wednesday, January 26th at 11 on SoapNet.
Go to SoapNet.com to sign up for the weekly SoapNet newsletter, the source for all the latest soap news. Enjoy a weekly email with links to photo galleries of your favorite stars, cast comings and goings, storyline sneak peeks, fun quizzes, and the scoop on special events. Sign up now at SoapNet.com.
This is where they take care of the emergencies. Only when they do the good stuff, they put up a screen.
Ah, shoot. Children, you don't belong in here.
We're not doing anything. Come on. They bring the people in this elevator.
Ah, come on.
No, you'll be okay. Now, come on, take it.
It hurts.
Really?
Excuse me. I hate to bother you, but if you're Miss Klepper, may I speak to you for a minute when you have a chance?
As soon as I can. Just wait outside, please.
Thank you.
Maybe we can sneak a peek in the other door. Oh!
Hey, take it easy.
I'm sorry, I didn't see you.
How could you, unless you have eyes in the back of your head?
Come on. No, not yet.
What are you kids doing down here, anyway?
We escaped. Huh? We tied sheets together down from the window.
Oh, terrific. And then you crawled along the ground when the searchlights were pointed the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the name of the prison you escaped from?
Pediatrics. We want to see the people when they come in from the ambulance.
Well, I think it's pretty quiet around here now, and I'm sure they're wondering where you are, so don't you think you better get back up to pediatrics?
The charge nurse is a crab, and it's more fun down here.
Yeah.
You won't tell on us, will you? Please?
Thank you so much for seeing me, Miss Klepper. I know how much you have to do. My name is Mary Ryan. My brother is Frank Ryan, who fell down the staircase a few weeks ago. Do you remember?
Yes, I was on duty when they brought him in.
I know you spoke to Detective Reed later on. He told me that you were the person who found the money that Frank was carrying. It's terribly important that we find out what happened to that money, Miss Klepper. Suddenly it was here, and then it was gone. Has anything occurred to you since? Any ideas about what might have happened?
No more than I told the police. I'd like to help Miss you, but Klepper. I'm sorry, they need me.
Thank you, anyway.
You didn't think on us.
No, I didn't. That's because I expect you to go back to pediatrics where you belong.
It's boring there. All they got stuff is for little kids.
Excuse me. Excuse me, ma'am. Is there someone here to take a look at my knee?
Yes, but we're very busy right now. If you just sit down over there, we'll take care of you as soon as we can.
I'd appreciate it.
That's Nolan Ryan. Who? Nolan Ryan, the baseball pitcher.
Do you know, I think you're right.
He's got 4 no-hitters, and they call him the fastest arm in the West.